In response to the Newtown, Connecticut tragedy on December 14th, Ann Curry, NBC News correspondent, asked, "What can I do?" She then took to Twitter and asked, "Imagine if all of us committed to 20 mitzvahs, acts of kindness, to honor each child lost in Newtown. I'm in. If you are, retweet." This all started when I was on Twitter and saw a mentor and friend of mine, Lindsay Liu, who had tweeted about a hashtag 26 acts of kindness that she had done with her 6-year-old son, Jackson. They had passed out lollipops to strangers, and this piqued my interest. Why would you pass out lollipops to strangers for no good reason? So I looked into the hashtag 26 acts and learned about Ann Curry's prompt, and learned that this had quickly gone viral and inspired tons of people all over the country to themselves commit random acts of kindness. I was home for Christmas break, and it was a Saturday night. My parents and I had just gotten home from a movie, and I just started sharing with them about this new hashtag 26 acts and what it all meant. We decided to start brainstorming and think about different things we could do in our community to honor the 27 victims of Newtown, Connecticut, support random acts of kindness, and serve as hope to inspire others to do the same. A lot of people asked us, well, tragedy shouldn't inspire kindness. And all over the country, people asked, why should we need to publicize our good deeds? Ann Curry responds, "Help heal us all. Share your acts to inspire others." She quoted Marianne Williamson and said, "As we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same." And this is why hashtag 26 acts has gone viral. Our first act started Sunday morning, the day that we committed to spending all of our time acting out our 26 acts of kindness, and we took breakfast muffins over to our neighbors and their 2 little girls in honor of Charlotte Bacon, age 6. Our second act of the day was we took a wine bottle and a personalized holiday card to our neighbor who lives alone, and this was in honor of Daniel Barden, age 7. Our third act is we taped bags of popcorn, microwave popcorn, to 3 different Redbox locations around our town, and we wrote a little note on our badge that said, "Please enjoy the free popcorn with your movie." I tweeted a picture of this, like I had said, and this immediately got some reactions, which was really cool. A mom had seen it and responded to me that her and her son were going to do the same. I followed up with her and asked her how it went, and she said that her little boy was so excited because they saw the people receive the popcorn and take it with their Redbox movie. It was really awesome to see that trickle down and see other people committing acts of kindness as well. Act number 3 was in honor of Rachel Davino, age 29. Act number 4 is while in a Starbucks, we asked the attendant if we could give him money and pay for the people's order behind us. I believe they ordered a coffee and a holiday cookie. We gave him the money, we gave him the slip of paper that was explaining what we were doing and who it was in honor of, and he got really excited and congratulated us on what we were doing. It was great to be able to touch him as well as the person for whom we bought the coffee. Act number 4 was in honor of Josephine Gay, age 7. Act number 5, I had originally came up with Saturday night while brainstorming with my parents, and it was to tape quarters to a mechanical horse outside of a grocery store for a little kid. I remember the days begging my parents to have those rides and them telling them, no, get in the car. And so I thought it would be a fun way to spark the excitement of a little kid. But we decided not to include it in our list because we thought those things don't exist anymore. We'll never find one. So luckily, while we were out doing our acts, we randomly drove past one, and I made my dad stop. We found 2 quarters and taped it onto the machine with a slip of paper, again explaining the 26 acts, and this was in honor of Nancy Lanza, age 52. Act number 6 is similar. We thought of the idea to tape quarters to a payphone, but then we decided, when was the last time any of us have seen a payphone and who uses them? This again, we drove by one and decided whoever is using a payphone, what a great surprise it would be to have 50 cents to extend their call. So for act number 6, in honor of Anna Marquez Green, age 6, we taped 2 quarters to a payphone. For act number 7, we decided to take 2 little baggies and put in $2 worth of quarters in each one. We then went to a laundromat and taped each bag to a different machine, so that way the next person who hauled their laundry up to the laundromat in this freezing cold Seattle weather could find out that they could do their laundry that day for free. This was act number 7 in honor of Dawn Lafferty Hawksprung, age 47. For act number 8, we thought really hard about who around us has touched us that we could give back to. And we decided that our local grocery store clerks had been so incredible to all of the holiday shoppers and had made all of our very special holiday meals possible, and that we were really thankful that they were able to do their job and take time away from their own families to make sure we could have special times with ours. So in order to thank them, we wrapped up some candy with ribbons, and we took it down and gave each of the store clerks at our local grocery store a candy with a slip of paper honoring the 26 acts, and thanked them for putting up with all of us holiday shoppers and all of our crazy needs, and for doing it with a smile. So for act number 8 was in honor of Dylan Hockley, age 6. For act number 9, we got a Starbucks gift card, and we presented it to a random stranger off the street, and it again explained to them the 26 acts and what we were doing. They were very surprised and very happy, and I hope that they enjoy their next coffee from act number 9, which was in honor of Catherine V. Hubbard, age 6. For act number 10, we gathered a bunch of canned goods and non-perishables and donated a bag of food to a local food bank, Food Lifeline, and this was act number 10 in honor of Madeline F. Sue, age 6. For our 11th act, we decided to take a bouquet of flowers to a hospital and ask a nurse to give them to a patient that could really use a brightening of their day. We took the bouquet of flowers to the hospital, and the ICU told us that they wouldn't accept them because of the dirty water and the bacteria in the water. They couldn't have it around the patients. So we then went to the maternity ward, and we were told that we weren't allowed to have pollen there because of potential allergies. So finally we found a nurse who directed us to 5B, and when we presented her with the bouquet of flowers, she said she knew the exact patient who could use a bouquet of flowers that day. And this was in honor of Jesse Lewis, age 6. Similar to that, Act 12 was we took a bouquet of flowers to a local nursing home, and we asked them to give it to a resident who hadn't had a visitor recently and could really use the surprise of a bouquet of flowers. This was in honor of Chase Kowalski, age 7. For our 13th act of kindness, we took all of our holiday leftovers and we made prime rib sandwiches, we took bags of chips, fresh fruit, bottles of water, and we made 4 different bags of food, and we distributed around our neighborhood to local homeless people, and this was in honor of Olivia Engel, age 6. For act number 14, we decided that it would be a great thing to deliver a dozen hot donuts to our local fire station. We figured these were the people that were always on call to help us and be there for us in our time of need, and what better way to say thank you than with a dozen glazed donuts. So we showed up to the fire station, we rang the doorbell, and the fireman was so surprised when we were there, just holding a box of donuts to say thank you. This is in honor of James Mattioli, age 6. We were really surprised at the response we received via Twitter on this act, act number 14. We got a lot of retweets and a lot of favorites, and I think that it was because everyone could appreciate how willing these people were to help us and how underappreciated they were and how great it was to take the time to say thank you. And we're really happy to see that it touched so many different people across the country. For act number 15, my family had been thinking about getting rid of our dining room table for a while, and we're looking for an antique store to sell it at because it was a near perfect dark cherry wood antique table and weren't sure about the best way to go about it. Finally, for act number 15, we decided that what a perfect way than to give this table to someone who could use it more than us and give it to a family in need. We took to Craigslist and posted an ad and explained what we were doing with the 26 acts, that it was in honor of 7-year-old Grace McDonald, and that we were willing to give it to any family in need that would be able to come and pick it up. Within 20 minutes, I received over 20 emails, and we got an email from a man who said what a blessing this would be to his family and how happy it would make his wife. We called him and he was able to pick it up within an hour. So for Act 15, we gave away a near-perfect antique table to a family in need in honor of Grace McDonald, age 7. For Act 16, my parents and I went around the house and got as many like-new winter jackets that we could and took them to our local Goodwill station. This was in honor of Emily Parker, age 6. For Act 17, we figured what better way to say thank you than to support the workers who were facilitating the Goodwill station. So we brought them hot chocolate to say thank you for their time and for bearing the Seattle cold. This was in honor of Victoria Soto, age 27. For Act 18, my mom and I went through a coffee drive-thru and we brought 3 long-stem red roses, and at the end of our purchase, right before we left, we presented the roses to the barista and said thank you and explained to her what we were doing and that this act of kindness was in honor of Benjamin Wheeler, age 6. For Act 19, we thought, we're trying really hard to touch as many people as we can and reach out to strangers and people around us, but what about the loved ones around us too? And so that's when we thought of my aunt who had come down really sick. Her husband had the flu as well, and she has 2 little boys who she had to take care of because her husband couldn't get out of bed that day. And we figured what better way than to surprise her with the delivery of hot homemade stew. So we showed up to her house, brought her a Tupperware of stew to share with her and the boys, And in act number 19, in honor of Mary Sherlock, age 56, we surprised a loved one. For act 20, we got a beautiful stuffed teddy bear and we took it to a local police department and we donated it to them to give to a traumatized child in the future. And this was in honor of Anne Marie Murphy, age 52. For act 21, we stopped by a local 7-Eleven and we donated $20 to Washington State Elks Child Therapy Program for a young girl who was going through cancer treatment. This was in honor of Allison N. Wyatt, age 6. While we were at 7-Eleven, we gave the attendant a $20 bill with our 26 act slip taped to it, and we asked him that the next person who purchased gas with cash, when they came in, he could tell them that their first $20 was paid for. So for act number 22, we bought the next customer's first $20 of gas in honor of Jessica Recos, age 6. For act 23, we again try to think about people who have touched us that we could give back to. This is when we thought of an elderly couple that lives down the street who had been there for the past 13 years while we've been in this house. They've always stopped and talked with me and, played with our dogs and chatted with my parents and just been such a light in our lives. And we realized we hadn't talked to them or caught up with them for over a year. And we realized that their kids live out of state and that they were currently living alone and going through the holidays with just the two of them. And so we baked up a fresh made batch of homemade cookies and walked it down with them and sat and chatted and caught up with them. And for act number 23, this was in honor of Avielle Richmond, age 6. For act 24, we again went through a coffee drive-thru on an early Monday morning, and we decided what better way to start off someone's day than to tip them more than they expected. So we received our bill of $8.22, and we gave her a tip of $16. And so for act 24, in honor of Carolyn Praviti, age 6. For act 25, this was a truly random act of kindness, as my dad was walking down the street and passed a disabled homeless veteran and decided to give him a cash donation. And so for act 25, in honor of Lauren Russo, age 30. For act 26, we were at a Cold Stone Creamery and there was a family with 2 young parents with 3 children, all of whom were under 6 years old. The mom was holding a baby and holding the hand of her other toddler. The dad was holding the hand of his daughter while juggling 3 ice creams and trying to pay the bill. And so we decided that we would give them a $10 gift card to Cold Stone along with a slip for 26 acts and tell them that the next time they came for ice cream, it was on us. And this was in honor of Jack Pinto, age 6. For act 27, again, we decided to give back to someone who had touched our family personally. So my mom decided to sit down and write a heartfelt letter to a former mentor of hers. It had been a boss of hers when she had first started working at the company and had really taught her and really shaped her life, because now that she's in the position of a manager, she's going back to those lessons that she learned from that mentor and never really took the time or got the chance to say thank you. So for act number 27, my mom sat down and wrote an unexpected thank you email to a former mentor in honor of Noah Posner, age 6. So all in all, this has been a great experience for my family. We had a great Sunday spending the time together, giving back to our community, and honoring the 27 victims of Sandy Hook Elementary. We hope that by doing so, and that by putting it on Twitter in a video like this, that we can truly inspire people all across the world to not stop at 27 acts and to keep giving back in honor of this tragedy and in honor of each other. And thank you so much for watching.